Maybe you've tried counting sheep or a special drink before bed. If falling asleep at night is hard for you, my next guest wants you to try a sleep podcast. With options for both adults and children, a sleep podcast may be exactly what you need to turn your brain off at night. Podcast coach Andi Smiley joins me. Andi, what do you love about a sleep podcast?
Truly, my favorite part about a sleep podcast is it helps you to turn your brain off.
Okay.
And I need that desperately at night.
Yes.
My brain does not like to turn off. So when I found sleep podcasts, it was like night and day difference. My sleep quality was so much better, and I fell asleep faster, so I got more sleep. It was the best.
Okay, so you've got a few you're going to share with us today. This first one is called Nothing Much Happened. So let's take a listen and we'll talk about it.
The day was warm, and a swim sounded perfect. A way to wake me up and cool me off, to refresh me for the rest of the afternoon.
Wow, okay, very soothing. What do you love about it?
I feel like, first of all, her voice is just kind of the best. I feel like make sure that you're in a spot where you can listen to this so you don't fall asleep. Because even now I'm like, okay, I'm so much more relaxed. My favorite thing is that each episode takes place in the village of Nothing Much with this podcast. And so it's just a sweet story with a bunch of details and little plot. So if you fall asleep halfway through, you're not missing anything, but it's just so cozy.
Oh, I love it. That voice, just so like soft and slow, right? Methodical almost. Okay, this next one, Get Sleepy. Here's a clip.
Everyone here listening is resting comfortably somewhere on the vast surface of this beautiful world. But as you listen to my voice, you can let your awareness of the world around you begin to fade.
Okay, so this one is part meditation, part storytelling.
Yes.
What do you like about it?
So this one, first of all, I wanted to give like a female voice and a male voice because I know some people are weird about that. We have to have options. The thing about this one is this one's a little bit longer, and it does start with a meditation that's usually about 10 minutes long, and it just kind of gets you your whole body ready for sleep. And then it has a story a lot like Nothing Much, but each night or each episode is a different storyteller, so you kind of get a little variety there.
I like the accent. That was doing it for me on that one. That was cute.
So fun.
Okay, this next one is an option for kids, and it's called Snories.
Yes.
Did I say it right? Snories. Okay,
Yeah.
let's take a listen.
I'm capable. You can always rely on yourself.
I matter in this world.
Yes, you do.
I am a good listener.
I like it. There's some affirmations in that one.
Yes, so this one has affirmations and then a story and then some grounding meditation for your kids. But it's simple enough that your kids can handle it. And truly, my kids love this one because it does. It just kind of lulls them off to sleep.
Yeah, okay. This fourth one we have, it's bedtime history.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a listen.
In 1909, White Star Lines wanted to be the best cruise liner, so they decided to build 3 new ships, which would be the biggest ships ever made, called the Titanic, the Olympic, and the Britannic. The name Titanic comes from the Titan of Greek mythology.
Okay, so this is like a history podcast.
Exactly. And you know how we sometimes fall asleep in history class? I feel like this kind of is along the same line of thinking, but truly, my son, he loves this podcast, and this one doesn't exactly put him to sleep, but it kind of lulls him into relaxation, and then after the episode's done, then he'll fall asleep. And he comes up the next day with the best facts from whatever podcast episode he listened to. So it's also a fun conversation starter for the next morning.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love the idea too, because we were talking earlier before the segment that my daughter has a hard time falling asleep sometimes, and I think they just start to overthink things. So even though they may not be falling asleep to these, the idea that they're just taking their mind off of maybe whatever worries and anxiousness they're feeling. Do you notice that?
For sure. And truly, I think sometimes kids just need an invitation to slow down and just take some deep breaths and just lay in their bed. Even if they're not ready to sleep yet, it can just help with the relaxing part and just get them ready for sleep.
Such good ideas. Thanks for this idea. Andi, where can we find more from you?
The best place to find me is Instagram at The Friendly Podcast Guide. Not only do I give really good podcast recommendations, I also help moms start and launch their podcasts.
Oh, amazing. Awesome. So good to see you.
Thanks.
Thanks.